already. We are now live on Facebook. Hey ladies, how are you? We are here doing our weekly business member spotlight in Business Women Rising Above, and I am just setting up so I can see all your lovely comments today. It is lovely to have you joining us, and today we have an amazing guest, Karen Giles, with us. She's going to tell us all about what she does in her business. How are you this morning, Karen?
Hey, Ali, I'm amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. It's always exciting to be a guest in people's chats and in their groups and getting to know members and just having that interaction, especially as women. It's, I think it's something we all enjoy.
I think I 100% agree. It is, and isn't it nice to just be able to get to know someone like on a more personal level, you know, rather than, it's great to chat on Facebook, but having in-person chat is fun.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Girls like to chat, let's be honest.
Yeah, we do. And guess what, girl? We've got a whole half hour to chat about you.
Oh, thanks.
And I know, right? And what you do. So let's get into that. So tell us a bit about what you do, Karen, and how you got into doing it.
Okay, so I'll start with how I got into my work first, if that's okay, Ali.
Cool.
So thank you. So I was brought up in a business environment, so a family business environment, and I was watching my dad from a little girl growing up to an adult, what he was doing to himself. So he was very much having to put in the hard yards to get the income coming in, and the house was up against the business because it was a big business and it was industrial air conditioning. So, and I remember just seeing him pacing up and down the hallways of the house, stressed, just waiting for the next payment to come through and being able to pay the staff at the end of the year, because the end of the year was the quietest time because it was a commercial industrial business. All the suppliers would shut down and everything. And then because of the type of person he was very family orientated. So his staff were family to him. So, yeah, and it's quite interesting. And then as I grew up, he was a scuba diver instructor. I was very much a daddy's girl, in case you haven't noticed. So he was a scuba diver instructor in his spare time, and he'd be out diving every weekend. So as a child growing up, we were always out and about in the water, and then in winter, I was playing hockey. So we had a very outdoorsy upbringing and go, because that's what my dad believed in. My mum, you know, lovely lady, and she was a little more laid back, but still like to get out and do things as well. So that's how I've ended up working with busy entrepreneurs who, if not at burnout stage, nearly at burnt out stage, because I've been through adrenal fatigue myself, and that's come from my upbringing. Wow. From being busy all the time, and then also being through a lot of grief in our family from the 2 years of age up. So losing people who are very close to me, being under a lot of pressure just in everyday life. And then also with my sport, with hockey, I'm very passionate about it and I loved it so much. And I believe that with your upbringing, they're your traits as an adult, unless you have the awareness, and I call it the awareness muscle. So unless you have the awareness that you're being too busy, and I was a yes person, as now I'm very good at saying no. And when you're a yes person, you do get drained because you don't prioritize yourself. So it took a fair bit of work for me on myself to take a step back and just assess my life and my situation. And I did get to the point when I used to work in childcare where my fatigue was that bad. I was having constant dizzy spells, and I'd be out in the playground leaning up against the play equipment because I'd feel like I was going to physically fall over. So then I found myself a holistic doctor. He helped me out working out my journey, where I was at in my life. I had very deep adrenal fatigue. I thought it was chronic fatigue syndrome, but luckily for me, I wasn't quite at that point. But if I hadn't have worked with him, I would have been. And that's why these days I'm so passionate about educating and coaching women and men through working out that work-life balance. And I know it's a bit of a, everyone has different opinions as to whether when you work for yourself, whether you can have that work-life balance or not, but I believe you can. The more connected you are with yourself and the more you're aware as to what's going on around you, the more work-life balance you can have, especially when you have the ability to say no to someone and a situation. And also when you have the ability to put your hand up and ask for support and help in areas where, they're not so much your strong point, or you just don't have the knowledge in those areas to know what to do.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree with the fact that you're saying, we don't, I think when we go into being a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself, some people don't like the word entrepreneur, but business owner, it's kind of like an old school mentality, isn't it? That you have to work. If you're going to run your own business, you have to work 24/7 and you have to put all this hard work in. And honestly, when I started in business, that was, I went in with the attitude of do whatever it takes, but I translated that to work as much as it takes. And there's a big difference. And what I've learned now, and I'm curious as if this is to how you help your clients as well, you can, it's working smarter, not harder.
Yes, 100%. So it's working out, okay, so what times of the day are you at your peak? So mindset, clarity, motivated, excited. So say, for example, for me, between 5 a.m. and 11 a.m. are my peak time. That's when I'm on.
Yep.
And then from 11 a.m. to 2, yep, okay. And then 2 p.m. onwards, I would prefer not to work after that 2 p.m. mark, 3 o'clock. But I do for certain clients if my normal schedule doesn't fit in with them. But I just know when my peak time is, because I'm a morning person, and then some people, they're night owls, so their peak is more towards, later in the night after 6, 7, 8 p.m. So it's just working with people with what they need. And that's something that my clients get really surprised with is, oh, okay, so working out my routine isn't just all fluff. It's not just, okay, I get up at this time and I do some meditation and I do some stretching and some exercise. I said, no, it's not all about that. Yes, you consider those things, but not everybody's into that. So it's working out what they personally need, what lights them up, what excites them, and what energizes them as well. Because if you don't have that energy, then how is your business going to grow and thrive? And the thing is that with myself, I'm quite a structured person only because many years ago, I was in childcare for 18 years. So that's extremely structured.
Yes.
A lot of policies, procedures, knows and goes. And do you know what I mean? So that I feel is inbred. It's like inbuilt, I should say, into me. So it's taken me quite a while to go, okay, it's okay if I only want to work these days each week directly in my business with clients. And it's okay to have, say, for example, Monday as my project, management day, and Friday as my health focus day. And for the weekends to do whatever I want. It's okay to sleep in on these days if I want to. I don't have to get up at this time every single day. It's okay to be flexible. It's okay to say no to yourself and say, hey, back off. This is what I need to do today. I can push that task over to tomorrow.
Yeah, and it is so, that's actually, can I tell you, that's something that I have struggled with.
Mm-hmm.
From my background, without most of the ladies in here probably know my background, but, having always had to feel busy, right? This year, literally, I have made a promise to myself to do things like take public holidays off.
Yeah.
Because I think as an entrepreneur, we just go, oh, we have to work, we have to work and we have to do this, even though it's a public holiday, and it's also a bit of imposter syndrome because we see other people doing it.
Yeah.
When you know, there's probably lots of things happening in the background that we're not aware of. Yeah, there's something I'm learning to do this year, like literally Australia Day. I actually had a public holiday off. I was like, what happened? and I love what you're saying about, you know, the peak hours when we're on. I am a morning person as well. So when I get up, you know, my partner thinks I'm nuts for starting work at 7:30. But I will go from about 7:30 till 11 and I'm on. Yeah. I'm just bam, 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 things getting done. Gets to about 3 in the afternoon, I'm done. Yes. You know, so I'm done. Totally done.
Yeah. And how awesome is it knowing that you can just do, you know, like structure your work day that way and work your life that way, and you're not having to do the 9 to 5 or 9 to 8 or, you know, however people's days are structured.
And your whole body feels into it. You find, yeah, because it's like now I know I'm learning to be gentler on my mindset and my body. When I get to 3 o'clock and I recognize that I'm getting tired, it's, you know what, it is okay to walk away. Because if I sit here and force myself to work, then it's not going to be productive. It's not going to be as productive as it could be.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And a lot of people too, when they work for themselves, they start complaining about or noticing back pain and their body's getting stiff and their eyes are getting really sore and burning because they're in front of the screen. But the thing is, how often do you get up and walk away from your desk? Or if you have, I bought an electronic desk last year, so you know it's a stand-up one. So I go between 3 different positions throughout my day. Yeah. So I start with standing up and then I'll go to the lowest that I have it at, and then I'll go middle, and then I'll finish it with standing up again, because I know that that's what my body needs. And that might be a bit full on for some people, but that's just taken me time to realize what I need to do, because my body for many years, it was walking around, picking up kids, moving around, I was running around. And then for the last amount of time I've been working for myself, I'm pretty much sitting down. So that's why last year I thought, okay, my body's telling me it needs support. I was getting back pain. I lost some muscle tone in my body. So I'm working on getting that back, because then that helps support your lower back as well. And then with your eyes, you know, like I'm saying these things because these are things I've been going through myself. You know, my eyes will be burning and I'll be thinking, why are they burning? This is crazy. I've got a ceiling fan going above me. That dries your eyes out, right? Yeah. And then looking at the screen dries your eyes out. And then working with a ring light in your face.
Yes.
That's in your eyes. And I thought, how can I be expecting my body to be supporting me when I'm not supporting it the way that it needs?
That's a good point.
So it's even just having that awareness and that intuition with yourself, going, okay, why are my eyes doing that? And, oh, why is my back doing that? Or why are my feet sore? Or, so to be honest, most days I don't wear shoes when I'm working.
Me too.
Because that's what my body needs.
Yeah.
But then in winter, I'll mostly wear runners because I find them most comfortable. Because I work from home, I'm online, so, you know, it's all about doing what you need to be comfortable, because the more comfortable you are physically, the more productive you will be, the more clarity you'll have.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, you'll get more done.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to, Karen, I want to go back to, you know, you were saying how there's certain times a day when we're on, right? Mm-hmm. Certain times a day when we're not so on. What would you maybe say to, for instance, like a woman with a young family, and they have to more, so, you know, they can't necessarily be working on or in their business at their peak on times because they're busy doing the family stuff. Yeah. What would you say to them?
Yeah, so what I would say to them is have a sit back, write it down. I know a lot of people aren't into pen and paper these days, but write down what you'd like to get done on your average day, and then what is happening in your family life throughout the day, and then go, okay, so the kids, they need me roughly this time of the day. Okay, so if they need me that time of the day, then can I get up a half hour or an hour before the kids get up? Yeah. And then, okay, so if I do that, what's the most difficult or challenging task for me to get done when the kids are up? Like, you know, if you're distracted easily with background noise and all that sort of stuff, or can you get that done in that half hour or hour time frame before they get up? Or if they have a nap, if they're at that young age and they're having the midday nap, you know, can you get some work done then? Another thing too is that if you have young children and you're exhausted, now this is just a very general comment, so please do your research. It's not medical advice or anything like that, but check out ashwagandha. It's a very good supportive herb when you're exhausted, when you're fatigued. Tulsi tea is a very good one as well. So that's really good for stress management and also energy. So when you're, you know, when you've got a family, especially if they're young family or even teenagers, right, they can be as exhausting as having a young family. I reckon. I don't have children, but my partner's got teenagers, and that's just been like a whirlwind, like a big learning curve. It's like, whoa, I thought little kids were challenging in the old childcare industry, but far out. But it's, you know, so just knowing what will support you throughout the day, stay hydrated. So with the children, you know, like what age are they and how demanding are they? Because you can have, for example, a family with 2, 4 and 6-year-olds, and they're happy to entertain themselves. And then the family over here, they've got a 2, 4, 6-year-old and they don't like to be on their own. They want your attention all day long. And another thing you can do is too, because I watch some of my business entrepreneur friends with young children, and they actually give them tasks to do. Yeah. So then they feel like they're participating in your business, and then they're busy doing that. And then that frees you up a little bit to do the work that you're doing.
I love that. I even do that with my adult children. Like I'm an empty nest. They've grown up, moved out of home. You know, my daughter has helped me immensely in my business throughout the years. My son actually writes the music for the meditations that I do. Like, it's so cool because I'm like, you know, all right, you know, you may be adults, but I'm still your mum and you can help me. And but I'm helping them as well. So you can do it when they're grown up, ladies.
Yeah, no age limit, that's for sure. There's, you know, absolutely none. And I'm also very well known for boundaries. So a lot of people call me the boundary guru. It's, yeah, I wear many hats. So with the style of work I do, you know, I look at least 5 different areas of your life, and that's how we get you all work-life balance going on. And the other thing too is that boundaries, it's never too late to start implementing boundaries, ladies. Whether it's with yourself or someone else, your children, you know, a boundary, for example, with yourself could be, I'll say as simple, but I know for some of you it will be very, very challenging to do, but it could be, okay, I'm just going to spend 10, 15 minutes this time today just to myself doing what I love, whether it's having a cuppa, a smoothie, a juice, you know, whatever it may be. It might be having a quick chat with a friend, might be dancing to some music, whatever it is. It's, you know, you just do what you love. That's really, really important, especially if you're exhausted or burnt out. Starting simple.
I think I needed to hear that today. I do. I think I needed to hear that today. I need to do more. I need to, you know, like I said, something I've promised myself this year and set my own boundaries is that I would take time for myself. But you know, and you know how you kind of just feeling yourself slipping back into old patterns. So I needed to hear that today. Thank you.
That's good. And if you're a structured person and you use a digital calendar, pop it in there with an alarm on, but not an alarm that has all the other things in your calendar. It's a different alarm. So make it a softer alarm or a playful alarm. So as soon as you hear it, you get excited and it's like, oh yeah, thank goodness, you know, this is my me time now. It's almost like the sound gives you permission to say yes to yourself.
Love that. Yep, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that in my diary today.
Yay!
See, there's a reason that these interviews are for all of us, including me, ladies. So tell us, Karen, how are some, you know, how do you help the ladies and the people who come to you? So do you offer like specific packages? How do you work with people?
Yeah, so I work with people one-on-one. So at the moment, that's my focus, is working with women one-on-one. And just what I do with my current clients is that I really nurture and nourish them. So we have a call on Zoom for 1 hour. Some of them want them weekly, some fortnightly, some just want them monthly. It's the same package, no matter how many calls that they want, because they also have unlimited access to me via Messenger or Telegram. It's their choice, which platform, between the calls as well, because I want to be there to support them, because whenever we have change and we're wanting change, quite often there's a fair bit of resistance, and there can also be a lot of fear, because we also look at areas like relationships. So whether it's with themselves, partners, their team, if you've got your own team, and also community. So some people, they want to get out there and they want to get amongst different things and experience new things, but they're scared. They don't know how to open up that new conversation, how to approach people. I also look at their movements. So say, for example, their overall health. So what are they wanting? You know, what's going on? Are they feeling really stiff? Okay, well, what do you enjoy doing? And okay, you enjoy doing that, but then how's your body feel? Oh, it feels really heavy afterwards. Okay, so why is it feeling heavy? Is that what your body wants on that day? So tune into yourself before you start moving around and, you know, doing different forms of exercise, because in your head you might want to do something, but your body might want something different.
Interesting. That, yeah, so it sounds like you've got a pretty comprehensive package that you offer to beautiful people. So if they would like to get in touch with you to have a chat with you or find out much more about what you do, how can they do that?
Yeah, so if you can just, if you just pop the word clarity in the comments under this interview today, or in the future, if you're watching it in the replay mode, then I will get in touch with you, and then we can set up a free 30-minute chat and see where you're at and see if we're the right fit for each other and what your goals are. And do you know what, Ali? A lot of women, and that's okay, don't even know what their goals are. Yeah. They just know they want change, and then that's something that we can work out together. And then, yeah.
I hear that, yeah. And often, you know, we as coaches, we have a lot of people coming to us, don't we, going, oh, no, I need something, but I don't know what I need. Can you know what I need?
Yeah.
And yeah, you would be, yes, great.
Yeah, so no, it's very exciting. I'm quite an empath person too. So even though I'm quite a structured person within myself, that's not how I necessarily am with my clients. So if any of your members or viewers or listeners are thinking, oh, I'm not a very structured person, that's okay, because I meet each individual client where they're at.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yep. So it's not a cookie cutter situation, so to speak. Everybody's different. We're all what I call bio individuals. So it's meeting your specific needs.
Love it, Karen. It sounds amazing. So there you go, ladies. If you would like to have a chat with Karen, pop the word clarity in the comments below, and she will get in touch with you to organise time for a Zoom call or for a chat, however you're going to do it. But Karen, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for reminding me of some things that I need to do. I am going to go away and I'm going to set an alarm in my different sound. See, that's something I have actually never thought of doing. So we can always learn something, can't we, ladies?
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure being here. And thank you, ladies, as well, for having me in your group and, being able to share with you a little bit, just a snippet of my knowledge and experience with you all.
Amazing, Karen. It sounds like you've got a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience. Thank you, Karen. And ladies, if you would like to be interviewed on our members spotlight interviews to tell us all about your business and possibly get some clients, feel free to private message me, and my PA or myself will be in touch with you to make a time and book you in for a time to have an interview. We actually, over the next few weeks, have quite a few available spots. So this is your opportunity in the group to showcase you and your business, ladies, just like Karen has done today. So thanks again, Karen. Thanks again, ladies, and we will see you in the group next week.
Thank you.